Welcome to the Shreveport Connection with Tommy. This video is on Monday night Raw and Superstars for Thursday, Halloween night. But first, as normal, some news. Ken Shamrock recently spoke with Steve and Scum about why he feels that he is heat with Triple H. I'd like to clarify that there was a guy named Mark Henry, a strongman, who was in the locker room, and there were a few guys involved. Hunter was one of those guys that was with him put shit in his sandwich and told him. So I think Hunter didn't like me for that, and I think Hunter didn't like me for the fact that when I first came in Vince put me over on him. I was truly understanding that I was the new guy coming in, and I hadn't put in my dues, and I was getting a push. But I was doing what I was asked to do. I think Hunter had a real hard time dealing with that, especially with me being a real badass otherwise, and there's nothing he could do about it. Then opening my mouth to protect another human being. I think there is ribbing and there is having fun, and then there is things where you cross over the line. And so I said something. The former WWE wrestler explains why he feels blackballed by the organization. I put out my feelers. I actually talked to Shane McMahon, who put a call in. I thought it was pretty intricate part of in changing the face of wrestling when I was able to ref the match with Bret Hart and Stone Cold. It changed the face of wrestling. I was in all the pay-per-views and all the house shows, and I thought I made a pretty good impact and helped change pro wrestling. Not myself, but definitely I was part of it in the Attitude Era. There was no recognition towards me or about me, and I'm kind of disappointed. Shamrock then talked about wanting to get into the ring with Triple H. When it comes to Hunter, I would love to get in the ring with him and show him what it's like. Help him understand that there's a lot of people in this world that have a lot of natural ability and natural talent. And just because you don't like them doesn't mean it's so. I would love to get in the ring with him and show him exactly who I am and what I'm about. And there was a YouTube video. I'll place the link right here. And former WWE superstar, happy birthday goes to MVP, turning 40 years old on Monday. And he posted on Twitter some of the messages concerning his milestone day, including, well, I don't feel any different. He announced last week that the return of Total Divas has bumped up a week, as new episodes will begin airing on November 10th at 10 p.m. That's probably Central air time. Following the season finale of Keeping Up with the Kardashians, the official plot synopsis for the return of episodes has been revealed. As Eva Marie becomes increasingly popular, Nikki begins to feel threatened. Arian works to control her temper. Natty has fears regarding her return to the ring. Leo Marrero and Michael Leitner attended Raw for Monday and posted the results for the Superstars taping for November the 1st, as it says. Well, November the 1st is Friday. It's actually supposed to be Halloween. Unless they've changed the dates for Superstars. First match, Naomi with Brodie Clay and Cameron in her corner defeated Oksana with Alicia Fox in her corner. Match number 2, probably your main event, Kofi Kingston defeated Santino Marella by pinfall. Raw on the USA Network from the 28th. Live from Orlando, Florida at the Amway Center, Raw opened up with a still shot photo from Hell in a Cell. Michael Cole introduced the show and hyped that Shawn Michaels would explain why he cost Daniel Bryan the WWE Championship. Jerry King Lawler hyped Randy Orton's WWE Championship celebration. Coleslaw pimped a poll that gave the fans the ability to pick whether Ryback versus CM Punk would be a street fight, Falls Count Anywhere, or tables match. Justin Roberts introduced John Cena as the new World Heavyweight Champion. Cena looked into the camera and said he gained a little weight in reference to the World Heavyweight Championship. Coleslaw noted that Cena proved his critics, including JBL, wrong. JBL said it was the first time in his life that he was wrong and labeled Cena's win one of the most incredible things he's ever seen. There were some boos when Cena stood in the ring with a mic. He said he used He's used to that. You all know what that means. I'm back, as he said. He asked if the fans missed him and received more cheers and boos this time. Yeah, a Borgasm yes chant started breaking out. Cena said he's never seen so many hands waving in different directions in his life. He said it looked like synchronized swimming. And then Cena thanked JBL. Cena said he had to listen to JBL state on Raw that he was making a mistake by returning too soon. He thanked him for the motivation. I just want to say you were wrong, and I want you to take a good look because the new world champ is here. And Cena said that. Cena said that if it wasn't for one match, 1 week, or 1 month, I'm back on Monday Night Raw. Cena added that he is back on SmackDown as well. He said that the fans in Europe thought that they were getting him for a special appearance. But he's going over there on their tour to defend the heavyweight title. He also said that he had to check in with the trainer and ice his elbow once in a while. But he is back and is ready to go. The WWE Championship celebration for Randy Orton was acknowledged by Cena. He said they would be hearing a lot of people talk, and so he was going to stop. He said Alberto Del Rio gave him a hell of a match and tried to put him on the shelf. He said he knows Del Rio has a rematch and told him if you want some, come get some. Didn't he copyright that from Mr. Steiner? Mr. Rick Steiner? Want some, come get some. Don't like me, bite me. These his quotes. Cena said C-Nation runs the show. Interruption by Damian Santos music playing, and he headed to the ring with his Money in Bank briefcase. And guess what? As you think, as Michael Cole said, Lawler immediately shot it down and said Santos smarter than that. The uncrowned champ is here, Santos said. He questioned whether a triceps could heal as quickly as Cena did and accused him of hurting more than he was letting on. He said Cena was afraid that he would cash in on him. Santos said he could cash in anytime and any place. Like right now, Santos sees. Then again, he walked away and any night. But tonight, Santos just started to walk past Cena, who shoved his shoulder. Santos kicked Cena's knee out and then hit his bad arm repeatedly with the Money in the Bank briefcase. Santos wrenched Cena's arm around the ring post. Rise above this, Santos yelled before throwing Cena into the barricade on the floor. Santos then ran Cena into the ring steps. Santos took the ring steps apart and placed Cena's arm over it. He grabbed a chair and slammed it on Cena's bad arm. My time is now, Santos said. Santos called for a referee as the match starts. Roberts announced that Santos was cashing in his Money in the briefcase contract as they go to commercial. A strong opening segment. Cena delivered a good return promo that rallied his fans and then sold really well for Santos' attack. Santos looked really ruthless while working over Cena's bad arm. Viewers may see him in a new light if they don't screw it up by having Cena plow through him after the break. Well, the match was on, and you had Santos continuing to work and attack Cena's injured arm. Cena came back with a belly-to-belly suplex at 1 minute 30 seconds in. Bolsov stressed that Santos has cashed in his Money Break contract and title was on the line. No turning back now. Santos went back to working on over an arm. Cena backdrop Santos heading into another commercial break as they come back. Cena and Santos traded blows coming out of the break. Cena got the better of it and slammed Santos. Then set up for the 5-knuckle shuffle, but Santos reached up and grabbed his arm and went right back to work on it. The announcers played up the decision of whether to allow Cena to continue falls on Dr. Sampson at ringside. Cena hits the attitude adjustment on Santos. Out of nowhere, Cena rolls out to the floor. Sampson stood up and checked on Cena, who then got Santos back inside the ring and tried to apply the STF. But he couldn't use his bad arm. Santos came back with his "You're welcome" finisher, but Cena kicked out at 2. Cena came back with a neck breaker of his own for a 2 count. Santos applied the STF on Cena and wrenched back. Cena escaped the hold and went for the same move, but Santos avoided it. Cena went for the attitude adjustment, but Santos avoided it and hit the "You're welcome" again. He got a near fall, and fans were counting along with the referee. Santos then placed Cena on the top rope as "This is Awesome" chant broke out. Cena headbutted Sandow off the rope, then missed the crossbody off the top rope. Cena came up holding his knee, which the announcers played up for a new injury. Sandow set up for a pile driver, but Cena slipped out and performed attitude adjustment for the win. So, what a waste for the cash-in on the title. At 13 minutes 15 seconds in, winner and still champion, John Cena. An excellent match with great drama for Sandow's near falls. This was much better than the Cena versus Alberto Del Rio match in Hell in a Cell. It was a very high-energy opening half hour of show. For Raw, it's a shame that Sandow no longer has the Money Bank contract, but this was not a case of Cena steamrolling him. Sandow shined in defeat. Backstage segment, the Shield delivered a promo. Dean Ambrose said he was putting his title on the line against Big E Langston. He said he would buy Langston if he was a stop, but he said it was a privilege for Langston just to be in the ring with him. Seth Rollins interrupted an injection and said he made a mistake by underestimating the potential of Langston, but they have an opportunity to rectify his mistake. That being said, he said they are getting back to basics. Roman Reigns delivers a Believe in the Shield line as the segment closed. Coleslaw hyped Ambrose versus Langston for the U.S. title after the commercial break. WWE is really coming out guns a-blazing for this Raw show so far. They really need a hot episode to get viewers excited again after the last few pay-per-views, events, and plenty of disappointing TV shows with the absence of John Cena. Match number 2, Dean Ambrose with Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns. The Shield versus Big E Langston by himself for the U.S. title. Coleslaw noted that Langston needed 7 stitches to close the cut below his eye, but of course Ringside News said he had to have 8 stitches below his eye, while Ambrose needed 8 stitches to close the cut on his chin from the pay-per-view collision. Coleslaw asked questions whether Ambrose was taking a shot at his allies when he mentioned during the promo that his title was the only one the Shield had left. The match ended when Reigns pulled down the top rope, causing Langston to fall to the floor, leading to the disqualification. And it only lasted a minute and 45 seconds for the waste of time. After the match, the Uso brothers ran out for the save and helped Langston. Brad Maddox came out and announced an impromptu 6-man tag match as they go to commercial. The tag match finish was weak, and the match never even had a chance to get going. They may have been better off doing an angle that set up the 6-man tag rather than a disappointing all the viewers with a quick and cheap disqualification finish, though it did give the show a hot feel when they announced that they were coming out of the Money in the Bank cash-in attempt with another title match. The Shield versus the Uso brothers and Big E Langston. The match was joined already in progress as the Shield got better of Jimmy Uso. Coleslaw hyped that the Shawn Michaels segment was coming up next. Jimmy came back with a DDT on Reigns and made a hot tag to his brother, Jay, while Rollins tagged into the match. Ambrose broke up the pin attempt, and Langston took him to ringside. Rollins set up for a superplex, but Jay dropped him face first and followed up with a splash, only to have Rollins put his knees up. And Rollins and Reigns set up for a double suplex, but Jimmy Uso caught his brother, and they super kicked Rollins. However, Reigns came back with a spear on both Usos and got the pin for the team. The Shield defeated Usos and Big E Langston. A needed win for the Shield following their tag loss and the loss in the triple threat title match at the pay-per-view. Not only we could get some character development from the trio, it will be interesting to see if Ambrose's line about holding the title that they have left goes anywhere. I don't think anything of it when he said it, but the fact that Coleslaw brought it up says it's worth paying attention to. The announcers hyped Orton's celebration and HBK's explanation as they go to commercial. HBK made his entrance. There were some scattered boos when the music stopped. He said he owed everyone an explanation, and more importantly, he owed Daniel Bryan an explanation. Michaels asked Bryan to join him in the ring so he could explain himself, Bryan made his entrance and a very serious look on his face. I don't think Bryan is going to be doing any yes chants tonight, JBL said. Good, as he also said. HBK said he knows that Daniel isn't happy about what happened. He said he didn't intend for that to happen. A "You sold out" chant broke out in the crowd. HBK said he called the match right down the middle. He stopped to let the "You sold out" chant grow. He said all hell broke loose, and then he saw what Bryan did to Triple H. Sean said he knows Bryan and the fans aren't going to understand, but Triple H is his best friend, and that's never going to change. He said Hunter was always there for him, including during his darkest hours. And last night he needed me to be there for him. And I was, as Michael said. I'm not asking you to be okay with that or even understand that. I'm asking you just to accept my apology, shake my hand. Bryan maintained that serious look and shook his head no. Michael said he gave Bryan a great foundation, but Bryan took it further than he ever imagined that he would. Michael said he took Bryan to finishing school and gave him his final lesson. HBK said that he was humbling himself and being gracious enough to apologize, so the least Bryan could do is show him the respect he has earned and shake his hand. Bryan finally shook his head no again. Let me tell you something, you self-righteous little puke. I have been listening to people call you a B-plus player, and I stuck up for you and said he's an A-plus player. Michael said he doesn't know if Bryan is, but he knows that HBK is and always will be. He said he was giving Bryan a chance to shake his hand and told him to do it. Bryan shook Sean's hand momentarily, then took him down with and applied the yes lock. Michael tapped. Several referees ran down and tried to pull Bryan off, while JBL said Bryan should be ashamed of himself for attacking a WWE Hall of Famer. The fans chant "You sold out" at Michaels, who was writhing in pain on the mat as Bryan's music played, and he headed backstage. The announcers discussed the HBK and Bryan angle, then plugged Kane's return for later in the show. This was a shock to me, myself. Just coming off of his filming for See No Evil 2. A good segment that was just done by HBK and Daniel Bryan. I didn't think Michaels would go full on heel, but that was the old cocky HBK character. John was very good, and it was great to see Bryan finally get out of that happy-go-lucky mode and show the frustration that he and his fans have been feeling. Here's hoping we've seen the last of the yes chants. That's why I call them orgasms. By Bryan on TV for now. Save that for the house shows. And have him play things seriously on TV until the time is right. This will surely increase the speculation of Bryan versus HBK at WrestleMania. I'd love to see it, but I surely won't blame Michaels if he chooses to be the guy who retired and stays retired. The graphic listed WWE's top 5 wrestlers on Twitter in order of their follower count. The Rock, John Cena, Randy Orton, Shawn Michaels, and then CM Punk. Backstage segment where Renee Young setting up an interview with Daniel Bryan. She ducked out of the picture, then the Wyatt family image appeared. She started talking to him, and then she mentioned something about somebody's behind you. And then she disappeared. And then a few seconds after a black screen, Luke Harper and Eric Rowan were shown working over Bryan. Eventually, Bray Wyatt was shown watching the attack. He picked up Bryan and said, "The devil made me do it," and laughed before he performed his finisher and into the fencing that was backstage. Wyatt rolled the production cart into the fallen Bryan to sell the segment and to end it. What an intriguing development. Is it just a case of WWE moving Bryan into a program with the Wyatt family? Or will the story be that Hunter somehow put Bray and company up to the attack instead of the Shield? Next up, we got the Los Matadors and El Torito making their entrance for match number 4. 6-man tag versus 3MB. It says a handicap match. 3MB's entrance was actually shown. Heath Slater brought out a giant fish net to the ring to help with him. JBL accused Los Matadors of kidnapping a little person and stuffing him in a bull outfit, which is funny. Slater tried to catch the bull in the net, but Torito went under the ring to avoid him. When Slater looked underneath, he was given the fire extinguisher treatment and gored. Los Matadors got the win moments later. Afterwards, Slater ended up in the net from the bigger of the trio, and Slater ended up in the net, and Torito hit him with a move off the top rope. And the match only took 3 minutes 40 seconds. The only entertaining part of the Los Matadors act is listening to JBL rant about El Torito. WWE thinks you're a moron. So they had Michael Cole give the demonstration of how to download an app again. Then Lawler encouraged the voters to pick the stipulation of the CM Punk versus Ryback match. Miz narrates the video about a lot of pink and everyone coming together. Oh, and it was for Breast Cancer Awareness this month. Commercial break. Match number 5, the Bella Twins versus AJ Lee and Tamina. Cole said Brian was taken to a nearby medical facility. He also said there's a rumor that Brie was forced to compete in the match. So she showed concern and acted distracted as the match started, and the heels got the better of her. Brie tagged out of the match at 2 minutes, and Nikki got the better of Tamina briefly with some sloppy offense. Tamina caught Nikki diving off the ropes and swung her legs into her sister. Tamina powered Nikki up and performed the Samoan drop. Tamina then tagged AJ into the match, and she applied the Black Widow for the win. And the match only took 3 minutes. And now it's hype Kane versus Miz for after the break. I don't think this match ever happened. Well, after the commercial, if Brie was so distracted, why didn't Nikki at least start the match, if not work the entire match? There were no signs of Nikki acting heelish despite taking the accidental running knee from her sister at the pay-per-view. Match number 6, Kane versus The Miz. Miz was wincing as he entered the ring, presumably selling the choke slam at the pay-per-view. He ended up taking another choke slam from Kane, who got the win. And the match only took a minute and 15 seconds. It was so fast I didn't even see the match. Well, after the match, Kane called out Stephanie McMahon, and he said something to say to her. Stephanie's awful entrance being played. Stephanie walked onto the stage, and she said she thought it was close enough, and he could say what he had to say from the ring. Kane told her she's been on a power trip. He has manipulated and has ruined lives. However, he said, it's what's for business, so the monster is hers to unleash. Kane then left the ring and handed her his mask on the stage. And my guess is he's retired. Kane walked backstage without showing his face, but he had his hair grown back. Stephanie held up the mask and hair and then smiled. So we might not see Kane anymore. So it's either Kane versus Daniel Bryan or Kane versus Big Show. I don't care about the Dr. Shelby silly history between the Team Hell No. I have no desire to see either program. It's worth nothing that Kane had a little bit of hair under the mask. We'll see if he keeps it once he shows off whatever his new look is, or if he's gone from WWE. Which may be as simple as him going back to the mostly bald look. Content players replaced R-Truth as the pitch men for WWE merchandise this week. It's free shipping night with the code PTP, standing for Hometown Players. The announcer spoke about Big Show announcing he had filed a lawsuit against Triple H. Well, I predicted that weeks ago against Triple H and Stephanie McMahon. Footage aired because of the so-called ironclad contract, but everybody knows there's no ironclad contract in wrestling. You either got a contract for so much at a time or a storyline. Come on, people. Get with the program. Well, the footage aired from the website of David Otunga reading through the lawsuit. Otunga said that the lawsuit could potentially cost the McMahons millions and the loss of control of the company. It's okay. I know where the McMahons can buy another pro wrestling company at a discount rate. Could that be TNA? Or now called Impact Wrestling? And yes, they are up for sale, but Dixie Carter had a comment to say on that. and that will be on my Impact videos. CM Punk makes his entrance for a promo and said he slept like a baby for the first time in over 3 months. Punk said he did what he promised he would do by getting Paul Heyman. Punk said he caned Heyman with an inch of his life and then gave him the GTS. And that's also on top of steel cage. Punk said Heyman is history. Punk said his focus shifts solely on Ryback right now. He said he stands no chance against him without Heyman. Punk said he can't wait to see how people vote. Punk then promised to beat up Ryback the way the people want to see him beat up. Lawler hyped the results of the poll for after the break as they go to commercial. The announcers recap the Daniel Bryan attack by the Wyatt family. Jerry the King Lawler announced the poll result. Street Fight won with 59% of the vote. Falls Count Anywhere got 26 and Tables got 15. Ryback versus CM Punk in a street fight. Ryback came out alone. No Paul Heyman. Of course, they're using that as the beatdown. Goldberg chant starts immediately and were louder than usual, and it yet faded quickly. The kendo stick returned along with a table that was set up in the ring. Ryback caught Punk jumping off the ropes. Punk slipped out and caught him with a kick. Ryback fell onto the table again, and Punk punched through it with a top rope elbow drop. Punk applied the kind of device, and Ryback tapped. And the match took 4 minutes. The match woke up the live crowd as they were behind Punk every step of the way. As Punk was celebrating afterwards, the Wyatt family entrance played. Bray Wyatt, Luke Harper, and Eric Rowan headed to the ring. Punk hit Harper with a kendo stick and was quickly outnumbered by Rowan and Harper as Wyatt watched from his rocking chair. Harper puts Punk down with his big boot. Wyatt headed to the ring. Punk, who had a trickle of blood, was held up by Rowan and Harper. He broke free and headbutted Wyatt. He was put down quickly by Harper clothesline. Wyatt performed Sister Abigail on Punk. The devil made me do it, Wyatt said as they go to commercial. It's nice to see them move the Wyatts into something meaningful with Punk and Bryan. Of course, there's a chance that they are just setting up a Survivor Series match, but I'm hopeful there's nothing more on with the Wyatts. Nothing more than there's going on with the Wyatts. Bray keeps saying the devil made him do it. It could be Wyatt rambling, but my guess is that someone is putting them up to these attacks. Could it be the corporate team of Triple H and Stephanie? Could we see Team Corporate at your next pay-per-view? Survivor Series? Cole saw narrated footage of Wyatt's attack on Punk and said Punk was undergoing medical evaluation. Ring entrances for the next match took place. Footage aired of Goldust putting his makeup on via YouTube. Match number 8, Tag Team Champions Cody Rhodes and Goldust versus the Real Americans in a non-title match. Of course, Zeb Coulter's in the corner. A loud Goldust chant started as the match got underway. The crowd followed up with a "You Still Got It" chant. Goldust caught Antonio Cesaro with a cool elbow shot off the second rope. Later, Cody performs a missile drop kick and clothesline Swagger to the floor as they go to commercial. When they come back after the break, Swagger and Antonio was on offense and performed the leapfrog. Cesaro performed a leapfrog into a double stomp move. Goldust checked in and got the better of Swagger, including a good scoop slam. Later, Goldust performed crossbody block off the top rope. Swagger ended up applying the ankle lock, but Goldust flipped out of it and rolled him up for a 2 count. Goldust then got caught up in clearing Cesaro from the ring as Swagger clipped the knee from behind and applied the ankle lock. Goldust tapped out to give the Real Americans the non-title win and automatically become number 1 contenders for a title shot. Cole saw hype Randy Orton's championship celebration. Commercial break. Real Americans won in 20 seconds. It's hard to take the Real Americans seriously following their loss to the Los Matadors at the pay-per-view. Obviously, the result of the match addressed that problem. Swagger and Cesaro are a quality team. I don't care if their act meshes with the Los Matadors. I hope they keep them apart and give the Real Americans more of an edge. Announcers recap John Cena versus Damon Sandow angle and match. There should be more questions about Cena's health status from the announcers, considering the beating that Sandow gave his arm. They should be playing up that Cena won the battle, but it's still possible that Sandow won the war. Alberto Del Rio makes his entrance. He said he doesn't care what the stupid gringo Sandow did earlier. He said Cena stole his world heavyweight championship. Del Rio said he's going to get his rematch and he's going to make Cena pay. He got the what treatment from the crowd. He said he was going after the arm and wouldn't stop until he breaks it. Del Rio said that the title belongs to him, but the fans already know that. Generic and highly forgettable moment. For that, the announcers pimped a WrestleMania Dream match for 2K14. The winner was Undertaker versus Goldberg. Footage aired from the video game of the match. And we're going streaking. We're going up to the quad and to the gymnasium, but everyone's doing it. Fandango and Summer Rae make their entrance. Summer is up in singles action after the break. An ad for SmackDown hyping John Cena appearing as the new World Heavyweight Champion. Match number 9, Natalya with Great Khali and Hornswoggle in her corner versus Summer Rae with Fandango in her corner. Heck, I thought it was going to be a 6-man, a mixed tag again. Well, after a long stretch of Summer offense, Fandango stood on the apron and kissed her. Hornswoggle pulled him down and then Khali chopped him. I guess they don't like PDAs. Natalya applied the sharpshooter and got the win. And the match took 5 minutes, 15 seconds. I know I piss and moan about the short length of most Divas matches, but this one really overstayed its welcome. It's hard to take Summer seriously when she's working in the silly dancing spots. I know it's consistent with her character, but she doesn't have the act down quite like Fandango does. If the goal was to bring the crowd down before the main event, they definitely succeeded in that. And then I add hype for the return of Total Divas for November 10th. Hey, whatever happened to Eva Marie and JoJo? It's as if they were tough enough contestants. Another generic ad for SmackDown question, who won the World Heavyweight Championship match at Hell in a Cell? The announcers stood on the stage. The wrestlers all stood on the stage. Hey, Eva Marie is alive after all. The Shield stood guard at ringside for the championship celebration. Triple H and Stephanie McMahon made their entrance and walked to the wrestlers on the stage. Hunter stopped to rub the Fury mask of El Torito. The furry mask, I should say. Hunter motioned for the Shield to join them in the ring. Triple H said it was a decade ago that the chairman came to him and asked him who he thought would be the face of WWE in the future. Hunter said he looked at everyone on the roster and he chose one man. He said he put that man in evolution and mentored him and watched him become a star. Hunter said he watched that star do horrible and heinous things to everyone on the roster, including him and his family. Hunter said that the monster matured and became an A-plus player. He said that A-plus player became the face of the WWE inside Hell in a Cell. He said it wasn't some B-plus player. He saw it of little troll who was sitting in the hospital bed. He said the A-plus player fulfilled his prophecy when he became the face of WWE and the WWE champion. Triple H introduced Randy Orton, who walked to the ring and shared a group hug with Hunter and Stephanie. Steph said Orton is the face of WWE and represents everyone on stage, so they should give him the respect he deserves. Orton borrowed a line from CM Punk by saying the WWE Championship means he's better than Orton. Overrun as the show goes over the 3-hour mark. Big Show's music hits and he's headed to the ring. The Shield stopped him and put the boots to him. The Uso brothers, Cody Rhodes and Goldust, intervened and took the Shield to the stage. Show got up and entered the ring, causing Triple H, Stephanie, and Orton to flee the ringside. Show took the mic and said he knows about the restraining order, but he can't expect him to sit by and let all this turn his stomach. He said the worst that could happen is they could have him arrested. But he has friends who could pay his bail. Those friends could have spared us a lot of crap if they just had borrowed Show some money. Show said his lawsuit could cost him a man's millions. Orton struck Show from behind with a title belt. Show got back to his feet, and Orton charged at him and ended up eating a knockout punch. Triple H stood on the ring apron and took off his jacket and unbuttoned his shirt. Then backed down and joined Stephanie on the floor. The fans chanted, "Let's go, Big Show!" Big Show's music played as he left the ring. Triple H got back in the ring. Orton struggled to his feet. Coleslaw said Show embarrassed the authority and ruined Orton's championship celebration. It's nice that the guy who has a restraining order against him can somehow get entrance music. I guess Hunter will have to announce more fake firings during his next interview with Michael Cole to cover that one. The Show and Hunter story isn't doing much for me, but the live crowd was into the Show and Hunter confrontation. Tease. One of the issues I continue to have with this angle is that WWE Champion looks like a supporting actor. Overall, the Show started red hot and early on and faded as it went on. I really liked the Shawn Michaels and Daniel Bryan segment, even though I really questioned whether it will lead to a match. And I also liked the Wyatt family getting a spotlight. There was no sign of Vince McMahon, even though he was advertised on the live event arena page and was rumored to be returning on this show. Well, what happened after Monday Night Raw episode went off the air? Triple H addressed the crowd and said, "The Big Show is lucky that he left because he was about to whip his ass." Triple H then proceeded to tell everyone that he was throwing them out. Stephanie then took the mic while the fans insulted Triple H. Triple H told the crowd that since no one wants to leave, you're all hired for WWE. And guess what? Now you're all fired. Get the hell out. And that concludes my videos for Monday Night Raw this week. Thanks again. Peace out.